got a chance to see the second half of season 3 of Reacher. Let's talk about episodes 5 through 8 right now. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Thank you so much for spending time with me as we rant about movies, comic books, and television shows, as well as the occasional board game. I'm your host, Frank Zanka. I'm an award-winning screenwriter, novelist, and comic book writer, as well as a filmmaker. And yeah, get back into the swing of things. We are going to be doing a shoot in the middle of the month. I just got back from a little mixer as well, so recording this pretty late. But I wanted to jump into Reacher and finish up because I did do the first half of the season. I will put the link above if you want to check out the previous 4 episodes. But I also am a writer, as you know, as I've said a million times. So if your first time here, then welcome. But if you'd like to read anything that I've written, you can go to Amazon.com and check out my stuff by typing in my name, Frank Zanka, and you'll see my sci-fi quadrilogy, Destiny Aurora, which has also been made into a graphic novel, a board game, an RPG. It's also on Audible. The first book's on Audible. And you can also check out all these are on Kindle as well as hard copy. You can also check out my fantasy book, Tales of Ravenor, the Iron Witch. I am also working on another book right now called Battle of the Ruby Slippers, which technically is half done because I started a while ago. I just got to continue it now. And I'm also working on a new comic of which the artwork is looking phenomenal, called Fairy Tales of Terror. Anyway, you can check all that out. I am probably going to be launching Fairy Tales of Terror within the next couple of months. All right, so let's jump into the second half of the third season of Reacher. So now that this is completed, let's talk about how it matches up. I don't know if you haven't seen it. I'm going to go into mild spoilers, not really heavy spoilers at all. So it really shouldn't affect you one way or another. But the first 2 seasons, in comparison to this, I think this is the weakest of all the seasons. I don't know how you guys feel about this. Although when I say weakest, it's probably still some of the best action shows that are on television right now. The character is very well likable, played by Alan Ritchson, and his surrounding cast is always great. I love all the development that they do for all the supporting cast members. So even though I say it's the weakest of the 3, it's still very, very good. It's still very good television, and I recommend it highly. I know some people are more a fan of season 1. I am more a fan of season 2 over 1 because I love the team mentality where it was like, the X-Men type of situation where you had him in the lead and he had all of his group that was kind of banding together, that had their own little dynamics which with each of them. I liked season 2 a lot. Season 1 would be second for me because Willa Fitzgerald, I forgot her last name, the one from Strange Darling. If you haven't seen Strange Darling, you should definitely check that if you're... because I keep wanting to say Willa Holland, but I think that's the one from Arrow. And but anyway, she really made that, and the guy from iZombie was really good as well. I thought they had a really good dynamic in that season, all those characters. And Malcolm Goodwin, he played Oscar Finley, yes. Willa Fitzgerald, I got it right. And Maria Sten is great. She is really, really great. I was thankful that at least we had one person from the team in this. Serinda Swan was in the last one. She was really good, and her relationship with Maria Sten's character, she just goes by Neely, was really good. But in this, she's a investigator now. They've all kind of left the army, but she's a straight private investigator, and they go to kill her. And of course, this is not really a spoiler. Of course, they don't kill her, and she leaves one guy bleeding out. I mean, he's literally bleeding out, and he's like, "Can you call me an ambulance?" And she's like, "Wait a minute, I gotta finish my coffee." She said, "Okay, I'll call him." She's like, he's like, "I'm dying. Call the ambulance." And she's like, "Yeah, I'll call. All right, yeah, yeah. When can you get here? It's no rush, really." So he's like, "Yeah, they'll be here in about 5 minutes, but you're gonna bleed out in 4. So, good luck, buddy." Yeah, but she's great. I really like her character a lot, and the actress is very, very good in it. But I was glad that I kind of wanted to see. I know that they're not why they don't put Serinda Swan in it, because it's almost like James Bond, where they give him a different love interest in every single season, which is fine. You know, that they're not giving him somebody locked down, and Neely and him are more of a brother sister relationship. So they don't lock him down with anything. But they do continue the relationship all through the season, and then they lob it off at the end. So the first season, he had the relationship with Willa Fitzgerald, and that was pretty much a hot and steamy one. The second one was with Serinda Swan, but that was more of a familiar thing because they had a relationship in the past. And then with this one, we have Joanna, I forgot her last name, Sonia Cassidy, playing Duffy. So we have Sonia Cassidy in here, and she's more of a no-nonsense type of character. She made the first move every single time. So that was very interesting as well, where they kind of make the female characters more of the instigation of the relationship. I think in the first season it was more mutual. The second season, since they had a relationship already, it didn't take much to move that one along. But this one here, she basically just jumps on him and kisses him and stuff like that. And it's funny what he says. He says, "She just wants me from my body." I thought that was a great line when they were talking to the grandmother of the woman that was kidnapped. So I thought that was really good. And Sonia Cassidy was hot too, in her own kind of way. And it was interesting when she saw him naked on top of that. I thought they played that off pretty well. So this storyline is, I think this also had the weakest storyline of all of them as well. Where I did like the beginning, where it was kind of a red herring in the beginning. They did a cold open. You're going like, really? This is where they're going with it, where it's very convenient that he just happens to be in the right place at the right time, but it ended up not being that. And I like that. And the storyline is that he's after this guy that he thought he killed, that had killed someone that he was mentoring. So it was a revenge thing. He shot the guy. The guy fell off a cliff or whatever into water, ended up not killing him, but the guy didn't have any memory of him. Meanwhile, now he is running guns. He's gotten into Anthony Michael Hall, who I thought did a very good job in here. They developed his character very well, where he starts out as a villain, but we find out that he's really just protecting his son. Johnny Berchtold is playing Richard, or Richie as he's called by his father. And he's gotten his ear cut off by the villain, and there's nothing stopping this other guy. His name is Quinn. He's the big villain, from killing them both or maiming them or whatever. So there you have all that stuff going on. Plus, Duffy's CI was a redhead, was taken and is being trafficked at the same time. So her objective is getting, because she feels responsible, is getting her CI back. And when I say CI, I mean confidential informant. Her informant back. Meanwhile, Reacher is on a totally different path of killing Quinn. That's his whole goal. And of course, they team up, so Reacher's objective becomes hers, and her objective becomes Reacher's. We also have, which I found was very interesting, we have a guy named Olivier Richters who's playing Paulie, who is at least a third the size bigger than Reacher, and that's hard to find, So it was kind of like what we did with in one of the Fast and Furious movies, where we saw people that were bigger than The Rock. One guy was bigger than The Rock, and I thought that was really good. But anyway, this guy would not die. This guy would not die. They went back and forth continuously. That fight scene was good, and I was very interested to see how they were going to pull this off. So when I thought the guy was dead originally, and I'm like, oh, that was kind of weak, a weak ending for Paulie. But then they ended up, he ended up coming back again. So they had some good stuff in there. With that fight scene lasted at least a good 10 minutes. That was of the last episode. I think went on forever. So Brian T. plays Quinn, and he plays a really good villain. I really kind of wish we had a little bit more with him. I thought that he was kind of shorted quite a bit in having him developed as a villain. But overall, it was a good and satisfying ending, kind of exactly as you think it's going to end. It ends, but it has some good action in there. They don't disappoint with the action for sure. And again, it's he usually takes people out really, really quickly. So when he was fighting the big guy, it was very... And the surprise on his face that he couldn't take this guy down no matter what. And every time he got hit and got knocked across the room, the surprise on his face was pretty interesting. And of course, he gets out where the guy could kill him and he doesn't, so it got a little bit cheesy in there. But we'll let it go just so we can have the fight scene go on, I guess. Anyway, highly recommend. But as far as I'm concerned, it is the weakest of the seasons, but even with being the weakest, I would still give it an 8 out of 10. I did enjoy it thoroughly, and I wanted to see who lived and who died in that as well, because there is, some of the main characters do not last. All right, well, that's it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. I am looking forward to Season 4. Hopefully we see a Season 4. I think it does have some pretty good numbers. I don't know what those numbers are, but I think it does have some pretty good numbers. So I think we will see a Season 4. Hopefully this thing goes to 5 seasons is what I'm kind of hoping. All right, and, Richard's starting to get additional, he played a superhero already on Titans. So, but I would like to see him, I would love to see him play Aquaman. I'll never see it, but that he played Aquaman in Smallville, just FYI. So I would love to see him reprise that role. Anyway, that's it for me. Give me a like, give me a thumbs up if you can. Please subscribe and share this video out there. Remember too, if you'd like to read anything that I've written, please go to Amazon.com and type in my name, Frank Zanka. I will see you guys on the next one. Thank you guys so much for watching till the end, and I'll see you on the next one. Have an awesome week.